Hello, everybody, and welcome to Back and Forth. I'm your host, Gecko Man, and sitting beside me is our co-host, Rogue Gambit, the man who was hoping for Kenobi.
Why are you here?
We're here, or at least I'm here, to talk about our top 5 Star Wars entrances.
Yeah, I guess that's why I'm here too.
So today we have decided to bring each of us top 5 Star Wars entrances, character entrances, nothing else.
What? I have one that's kind of not a character entrance.
All right, well,
I should probably get going first, right?
yeah.
Alrighty. Number 5.
The great
This is gonna probably surprise everybody since all I do is bash this movie.
Yeah, you probably will.
But I've got in Star Wars Episode 8.
Wow.
When Luke Skywalker walks out onto the blood red.
That's a pretty good moment, except it wasn't good enough for me.
For me, like, I hate the movie. I hate even the premise of him being there.
Yeah.
But it was just excellent. Like, you in the theater watching it, not a part of me thought he was going to show up. And he did. And not only that, but then you were just like shocked that he's there.
Mm-hmm.
Then Kylo Ren, one good character line of his, when he's like, I want every gun to fire on that man.
That was a pretty good moment.
And then they do such a good shot swinging around with the camera. Then one fires. And then all of them fire. And then he's still there. And that is just, it's just a good entrance, Not a good movie, not a good ending, but a great entrance.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Not a good entrance, in my opinion, to make it on my top 5. So
that's why we got different lists. Well, what is your number 5? Then?
My number 5, this one, I don't know, might surprise you, but it is a very good entrance. It is Ahsoka Tano in Rebels.
I haven't seen it.
When she faces off against the Inquisitors, saves Ezra and Kanan and 2 younglings.
Well, everyone makes mistakes.
just that moment, because it was a moment of us after watching.
So, I guess I have just one question, just to since I haven't seen this, to get the essence of what kind of entrance this is. Is this the first time you see Ahsoka in the show?
No.
Okay.
This is the first time that we see Ahsoka. I think we see Ahsoka first fight an Inquisitor.
Okay.
So
I was just wondering, if it was you're watching the show, why, what's Ahsoka up to, and then boom, she has this epic entrance. So
yeah,
I wasn't sure if that's how it was.
It wouldn't really make sense in this sort of way she enters. But yeah, I definitely see it.
Just since I haven't seen it, I was just trying to get the feel. All right, so
it's just a good entrance because one, we haven't seen Ahsoka in a long time.
Yep.
They definitely we don't really see her fight that much in Rebels, but when we do see her fight, she is pretty amazing.
This is true.
But that moment, while I do not like the the design choice of Ahsoka.
Yep.
Really, they did still do an amazing job of the way Ahsoka fights. I feel like they really do capture the way she fights in that show. Yep. You just sound so uninterested in this.
That is my general demeanor.
But yeah, it was definitely a really good moment. I believe it was the first fight. I will have to look again just to be sure, but I believe it was the first fight that we see with Ahsoka and Inquisitors in Rebels. So It was something that the audience longed for. It was nice. Moving on.
All right. My number 4, I'm going to have to get your help on this one because I don't remember all the details of this entrance, but this is in The Phantom Menace. When they're somewhere, I don't remember the planet, and all the, Princess Leia and all the, not Princess Leia, Padme, Amidala, and all her little guys are running around, and then the big doors open, and who's standing there?
Oh,
Darth
Naboo?
Maul on Naboo. I knew anyways,
it was the whole
they I think if I remember the shots correctly, it doors open, Darth Maul's standing there, he shoots out one side of his lightsaber, it pans over, behind everybody is Obi-Wan. No, Kylo Ren. No.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn. And he like walks through everybody towards him, and then it pans back over, and then
I think the igniting of the lightsabers are after.
No, I'm pretty sure Darth Maul ignites one side right before it pans.
Maybe,
but it might be right after it pans back. Yeah. It's just really, really good camera work, and yeah, the entrance is just that's epic.
Really, that's a good one. That's a good one to have at number 4. Anything else about that?
Once again, a terrible movie that has an epic entrance.
All right. My number 4 is your least favorite character, I think, in the original films.
Okay.
Is Han Solo in A New Hope when he saves Luke Skywalker from Darth Vader and his TIE fighters.
Well, as I've stated before, and most people probably know this will be on my list because I had it in my top 5 moments, and it is excellent.
Yeah, it's an amazing like entrance of Han Solo. Like it's like we already believed he was, he already left and stuff, and then he comes back and saves everybody.
Yes,
like that's pretty good entrance right there.
This segues really well into my number 3. It's in A New Hope when Han Solo shows up and saves Luke Skywalker from Darth Vader.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, did you not know what I was talking about? I literally said almost word for word what you said.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, this was not scripted.
Yep. If you want to know, these are not pre-planned episodes. We do not have a whole script ready. We're not sitting here reading off the script.
Yeah, like you said, epic entrance.
Yep.
I remember, I think I said this before, but I'll say it again. I remember watching for the first time. I 100% did not think Han Solo was coming back.
Yeah.
I don't like his character, but his character arc is very well done in the movie. Like, you know who he is, you know why he does what he does, and that just sets up so well. You're just like, okay, he's gone, he's off doing his own thing like he always does, and then he shows up, and you're like,
yes. yeah, they definitely really get it on point with that one. Well, my number 3 is from a show. Very recent show.
Oh no.
But trust me, this is actually a good entrance.
Okay.
It is The Mandalorian.
Okay.
It's when he enters into that, I guess, meat factory, whatever.
Yep.
And I'm going to say, that is a good entrance to have for Mandalorian. Like, even though it was in such just a pretty bad show.
Yeah.
It still was a good entrance. Yeah. Like you've been saying, terrible.
Right. I mean, that episode's just good.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, it is a very good entrance.
It really
just the way I love, once again, great camera work. The angles they choose, just very different from the Mandalorian show. The way that they like depict him, and the way he just like without Grogu there, he's just willing to
do the job,
do his job, and do it well. And just walks in. Oh my goodness, so good.
Yeah, and it even catches like his menacing, the way he looks. We talked a little bit about this in a previous episode, but like he's so menacing, and it's such a good entrance of one of my favorite character in the whole Star Wars universe. So, like,
does a great job of capturing his essence, showing how feared he is, showing what he's capable of.
And if I can say real fast for one final thing for this is, I love how they show his shadow before they show him. Like that was a good choice in revealing. So yeah. What's your number 2?
All right. So number 2 is in a movie that I can't remember the name of right now. I'll have to get your help on that.
Oh,
once again, a terrible movie. But so I think the scene starts out and you see Count Dooku standing in this chamber, and then you just hear pitter patter of feet quickly walking towards him, and his shadow appears, and Yoda walks out.
Oh, Attack of the Clones?
Yes. I don't know. Sure.
I think that's the one. Yeah.
And then Count Dooku says whatever he says, like, Yoda, it's you, and he's like, you are Count Dooku. And then Count Dooku shoots his little lightning fingers at him, and he catches it in his hand and throws it right back at him.
Oh, yeah.
And then Yoda says, much more to learn you still have.
If I could say.
Just like, once again, like the way that you, like you said, you see a shadow first. Like you hear these footsteps, right? Mm-hmm. And then you see the shadow, and then you see him. Just really well done. And then, of course, Yoda just like being Yoda. It's like, I even forgot. He flips his little lightsaber out with the Force.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah. I will say I did like the way they did like a Force battle in that.
Yeah.
I think that was a pretty well done fight right there. Even though I feel like a lot of the VFX were not the best.
Yeah, I mean, the lightning looks cheesy. The way that he catches it, all that looks, the Force is fine, not great, but it was one of the better fight scenes, and just really good entrance, and just shows the characters of Count Dooku and Yoda just so well.
Yeah. It was definitely a good entrance.
And Puppet Yoda's still better, but it's.
I don't know how they're gonna do Puppet Yoda for a fight scene like that.
Hey, there's some pretty good puppeteers out there.
I mean, I'm not saying there aren't. I have not seen good puppeteering. It's not supposed to mean how it sounded. Moving on. My number 2 has to be my second favorite entry. Well, it is my second favorite entry. It's my number 2. It has to be my favorite animated entrance of all time. Darth Maul in the final season when he just walks up.
What does he say?
I was hoping for Kenobi. Why are you here?
Oh.
I just love it.
Yep.
Like just that slow thump.
Yep. And then once again, just such a good job of
I've looked through the Clone Wars. There's not a whole lot of like entrances like that in the Clone Wars, but that one was so good.
Yeah, that's definitely one I thought about putting on my list. But yes,
it is very good. Like. It definitely captures Darth Maul very well.
Especially the way he was portrayed in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Now we're getting on to the number 1s here. Any honorable mentions for you?
The only I can think of.
All right.
Is in the Clone Wars when Ahsoka's standing there and you just hear this thump, thump, thump. When Darth Maul shows up.
All right.
No. Darth Maul is that one. Anakin has a pretty cool one when he shows up. What's the arachnid dude's name?
Oh, man, I forget his name. Mr. Six Arms.
Yeah, that guy. Anyways, that's a pretty cool one when he just shows up and it's like, anyways. But why I want to pick that one is because it's like the fights, or like his decision and like you seeing him become more of a Sith is better than the actual entrances,
Yeah.
So and then there's another honorable mention I guess I'll do is in a movie, one of the movies, when General Grievous is there and you just see Obi-Wan Kenobi drop behind him,
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's definitely a good one.
Any honorable mentions for you?
I do have one or two here. One of my honorable mentions is a General Grievous one from the Clone Wars. You may not remember this one.
Probably not.
It is when General Grievous. It's the moment when Obi-Wan Kenobi believes he is finally going to stop General Grievous. It's first couple of minutes in the episode, I think, when General Grievous has invaded Eth Koth's ship.
Right.
And you just see these 4 lightsabers to just penetrate the door and then just like start turning, make this circle, and then it just stops. Eth Koth and a couple of clones are getting ready to fight. And it's just them on the ship because everybody else had died. It's like It's like a terrifying moment. And then just the door, the hole just gets, I don't know, kicked open or something, and it just goes flying, knocks out a couple clones. And then a couple commando droids and Magna Guards come through and take out all the clones. And then General Grievous just walks in, just like clank, and just like says something says something weird, and like then just takes on Koth and just takes him down so fast.
Nice.
It's a pretty good moment. You're definitely gonna have to watch it. It's a good entrance for General Grievous. I feel like, because he's the tactical droid leader type of person, even though he is a coward.
Right.
It's a good entrance for him. I went a little too long on that one, so
you're good. Another one?
I do have one more. I'm kind of forgetting it. Hold on. Yes. I don't know if I want to say this one because it might spoil something for you.
Okay.
So I may have to like.
Well, I got another one if you don't want to do it.
It's from Rebels.
Okay. Well, as you know, I don't necessarily care if you spoil anything in Rebels, but
I don't know if you want me to spoil this.
Okay. Then we don't have to do it,
because it is. You know what? I won't say it. You guys are gonna have to wait in suspense. So,
I'll say one more. Another Obi-Wan Kenobi or Ben Kenobi in this instance.
Oh, I think I know what you're
A New Hope. I think when
isn't he only in A New Hope? Actually, no, he's not. But yeah,
I literally just said one when he wasn't. When Luke gets taken out by the whatchamacallums,
the Sand People.
Yeah, and the Tuskens.
Yeah,
and then he like walks, runs up to him, and you just see his cloak, and he's like leaning over Luke, and then Luke, wakes up, and
he more has like a
I don't remember exactly.
He has more of a terrifying entrance because he does this like loud creature noise to scare off the Tuskens,
right?
And he's like, and you just see this cloaked figure waving his arms and stuff. Then he walks up to Luke, kneels down, looks over to R2, and he takes off his hood, and he's like, "Hello there." The first words Obi-Wan says in the movie.
All right, my number one. I'm gonna guess it's the same. Well, it might not be the same. I think it's gonna be the same but different. Because I'm picking Darth Vader's entrance for his hallway scene in A New Hope.
A New Hope.
I'm guessing yours is gonna be Darth Vader's hallway entrance in Rogue One.
Yeah, but
you are. Mine is in A New Hope. It's the first time we see one of the greatest villains.
Oh yeah,
of all time. And it just like shows Darth Vader, but it also just like shows the power of the Empire, like you've just got these rebels like scared and hiding there, waiting for something, just like they blow the door off, and then just a bunch of clones or stormtroopers come out, right? And then he just like walking through. Oh my god, it's just a great entrance.
Yeah, definitely a great entrance, and this definitely can segue into my number one of Darth Vader's entrance in a Rogue One. Like, that entrance, I think it really sets the terrifying mood for Darth Vader for A New Hope. If you are watching, this is the first time you're watching like Star Wars, first off, I'm sorry, because you have to watch the prequels before you watch the main
don't watch the prequels first. Watch the main trilogy first, and then you can watch the other stuff if you want.
I will say that, Rogue One shows the terrifying aspect of Darth Vader that people wanted to see when you first see him, and his hallway scene. It was the first hallway scene that a character got.
Right.
And he just takes down all these rebels so quickly and so efficiently. Yeah. And you see the terrifying look that these rebels have, and yet they're still firing upon this Sith Lord.
Yep.
And then after that, if you actually think about it, it goes into A New Hope. Darth Vader sends stormtroopers in.
Yep.
That's something to think about right there. I'm tapping my forehead or tapping my temple here. Just like think about it.
Yeah. I love the Rogue One entrance. I think the Rogue One entrance like does Darth Vader justice, does the entrance justice, and is amazing and beautiful. But in my opinion, it doesn't have the same like you said. He like sends these stormtroopers in first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not just this like one man wrecking crew, right? Like I said, it shows the like power of the Empire. They have like endless soldiers at their disposal.
Mm-hmm.
They are huge. They control so much.
Yeah.
You know. And he's just insanely powerful. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean the Rogue One scene is great. Just doesn't have probably just like, the nostalgic aspect to it for me and such.
If I could say real fast before we kind of go into our next segment here, if you were to just watch A New Hope first, I will say that Darth Vader's entrance is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's still very when I first watched it, I was terrified of this guy because like you said, he's just willing to sacrifice so many soldiers just so he can get to his goal. And while yes, I think he still could have had that hallway scene and be that menacing person, I think that it definitely shows the tactical mind of Darth Vader.
And it also like fits the simple story of the movie, right? Like the movie is literally just about like these people trying to get plans.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, it's not a complex movie plot, right? And like that just fits it. Like I'm not saying that the hallway scene and the whole Rogue One like takes away from that at all. It doesn't.
Yeah.
But like it didn't need it in that movie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas in Rogue One, it does a really good job of culminating in this one scene, right?
Yeah, definitely is a good way of like bringing into this.
And no, I did not say Rogue One did a good job at anything. As you were saying.
I knew you were going to say something about Rogue One, and I wanted to say something first. I just didn't.
But if you want to hear our full thoughts on Rogue One, tune in this Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday
we will be releasing our movie review.
Yeah,
for Rogue One. I cannot wait.
Yeah. So keep your eyes open. Why are we ending this? We still have more to go.
On our entrances?
No, we're going into Moon Knight now.
I know.
Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Moon Knight.
Episode 5. Second to last episode.
Sound like you were going to say episode 4 there, but
What'd you think?
It was a really good episode. I really, really enjoyed it. Very interesting way of like telling the backstory
while still telling the front story.
Yeah. It was interesting. Wasn't your normal boring way of telling a backstory. It was a interesting way they put it.
Yeah. I absolutely love this episode. By far the best episode so far. I think that they finally just let Oscar Isaacs act. Like we basically just saw him the whole time. He did an incredible job. Oh my goodness, like
yeah,
he's
an impressive actor.
He's so impressive. Going back and forth between Steven and Mark, but also like between like him and the psychiatrist's place, but also him and just so good. Ethan Hawke did a great job as Harrow.
Oh yeah, he did.
Dr. Harrow.
Even as Doctor, I've so far like throughout this entire show, I just enjoyed him.
Yeah,
so much. Like he does a really good job as this type of character, and then seeing him as basically just someone else for a while.
Yep.
It not only like complements. I'm forgetting his name now. Goodness, Steven and Mark, but it also just shows how good of an actor he is as well. So it's truly amazing how good these actors can play different personalities and stuff.
And then I just thought the story that they told this episode was really good. Like they tackled some pretty big stuff.
Oh yeah.
They really showed Mark's pain. They showed And they did it like there was a lot they packed in, but it didn't feel slow. It didn't feel too fast. It just like they gave you a lot of information. I loved the pacing of the sequences of them of Steven finding everything out, like the way he was like going up the stairs at the one point and then back up the stairs to like the same place, and just like that was really fun. And like not just, but they did it in so many layers because it wasn't just him finding out, it was Mark trying to stop him from finding out. But like also realizing that he needed Steven to learn these things, right? And so just all the different layers just added to it and made for just a really, really well told story.
Yeah, it was there was definitely a lot of information there, but it wasn't like an overwhelmingly amount. Right. It was like, wow, this is the information that I needed. That it's perfect.
Yep.
Did you have any, was there anything in this episode that was like really surprising to you, or?
Well, let's first, before we get into that, I want to say the one thing I did not like about the episode.
Yeah, probably a good idea to get into that.
Was the hippopotamus.
I
mean, it's not like I'm totally fine with the hippopotamus being there. I understand that, like, because as Harrow says, that is someone who can break the walls down between them, right? Like, she is the god of family and children or whatever, mothers and children.
Yeah, mothers something and children. Like that. Yeah,
and that's like what they need to discuss is his mother and his childhood. So it makes sense that god's there. Also, the fact that, as we spoke last episode, I believe she's also the god of rejuvenation or whatever, and so she can bring him back to life, as shown. But like, it was a really intense episode, and her character wasn't comedic, but wasn't intense, so it just felt really out of place. Like, I feel like they were trying to have her be comedic, but I didn't find her funny at all.
Yeah,
so she just felt really awkward.
She was just there to tell them to be sure the scales were supposed to be. Yeah, I see. And
I just really wish she would have been written differently. Much more either serious or way funnier, because like she just wasn't doing it for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. But yeah, surprising things. There's one. Was there anything else that you disliked about that?
Nothing really. I guess my one disappointing the one thing that really stood out for me that was disappointing was the fact that Mark didn't put up much of a fight in the final parts of the episode. But
I didn't really have a problem with that. I mean, he was fighting against multiple undead.
True,
but people.
But then,
what I guess I would have disliked about that was the fact that he seemed to like hit them and not do much, and then when
that's what.
But I think it kind of was trying to show that them working together is what like and like they became stronger the more they worked together, type of a thing.
Okay.
Whereas when he's like, you hide, I'll do this, he was weak, right? But then when Steven's like, no, let's do this together, that's when they became stronger.
Okay. Then that makes sense. Because I just thought it was weird how, like you said,
he just does these hits. They definitely didn't show that all that well.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to hit you nice square in the jaw. Oh, just took a small bit of sand out there. Then Steven comes in, smack dab in some random spot, and takes him out.
Yeah, by far the most surprising thing to me was Jake Lockley not appearing in this episode.
I have to agree with that.
Spoilers for those who haven't watched it, but watch it before you listen to this. Anyway,
actually watch it like 4 times, then re-listen to this like, I don't know, maybe 10 times.
Just keep listening to this. That's fine. Yeah. The more listens, better. No. Anyways, Jake Lockley. After last episode, we see this sarcophagus, someone pounding on it. Steven had just come out of a sarcophagus. Like, I just expected Jake Lockley to be in that sarcophagus, which I still think he is.
Yeah,
but I expected them every time they needed to, deal with something. I was like, oh, Jake Lockley's it.
Yeah.
Then they deal with this other family problem. Okay, Jake Lockley's next. Then they deal with this other family problem. Then, okay, Jake Lockley, and it's just like kept happening, and it wasn't Jake Lockley.
Yeah,
and then they get in this fight at the end. I'm like, all right, now they have to finally get Jake Lockley to appear, finally balance the scales, be able to take these guys out.
Mm-hmm.
No Jake Lockley. and then it ended, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. I totally thought Jake Lockley was going to be the key to balance the scales.
Same.
But it never happened. It was apparently...
And it wasn't necessarily a negative thing. I think they did a really good job of telling the story. I'm not sure how the scales are balanced without Jake Lockley's heart on there.
I'm assuming in some way, I'm wondering if maybe... Think about it this way. Let's say this. What if Jake Lockley is still a very new personality? That's why his heart on there isn't that big of effect. I'm thinking that's what it is.
I could see that. I feel like that doesn't really fit the whole mystical aspect of it's not this it's close to balance something. It has to be perfectly balanced, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the gods are all knowing, except this hippopotamus scene. That was another thing. I wasn't a big fan of the hippopotamus. At the start, she's like, I don't know what's going on, fumbling through these papers. At the end, she's like, suddenly knows everything.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, what?
Yes.
That was so...
Apparently, just a couple things had to happen. Then she's like, oh, yeah, so it's just like in the handbook here, Egyptian 101.
Yeah, that was just random. But anyways, so I feel like, I don't know, that doesn't really fit. But, it could just be those are the two that are at odds with one another, right? They're the two personalities that are clearly at odds with one another. I feel like maybe Jake Lockley doesn't, they don't know enough about Jake Lockley to have a problem with him, so they aren't unbalanced with him. But,
yeah, I wonder.
And I guess maybe they just decided to show us. I don't feel like this is what it is, but maybe in episode 4 they decided not to show us that one scene just to tease us that it was Jake Lockley, even though it might have just been Mark. But I feel like that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it is Jake Lockley in that sarcophagus. There's a part of me that says there's no doubt that it is. But what you raised a point and starting to figure out what it was, but I think the fact is that they don't know.
Neither one of them seems to know that Jake Lockley exists. Yes.
Yeah. So while yes, maybe Steven kind of know, he's the one that really stopped and looked at it, right? Was it Steven or Mark who looked at it? One of the two who stopped.
Mark wanted to move on. Steven was kind of looking at it.
Yeah. So Steven is seems to know about it, but he doesn't seem to understand it.
Right. Steven being the one, Mark being the main personality and Steven being the one who doesn't know as much. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. So what I think is, since Mark doesn't know about this personality and he believes everything that has happened, every blackout that he's had or whatever, it's all been Steven. And
but I don't see Mark believing that Steven just
true.
The crap
You're
out of these
absolutely
people.
right. You're absolutely right. But they never really
right. They don't really
actually get into it when he's like, "What did you do?"
Right.
And yeah, it was kind of weird, but so I think it's another one of those moments where they are both blacking out when James Lockley is taking over. Jake Lockley, James, they're the same.
That's actually true.
So I think they're both blacking out. So of course they won't have enough information to really they won't have it. They don't know enough about him.
Yeah. I guess my only, I like this way they told the story. I like all that. I like that Jake Lockley was this twist that you thought was coming and never came. I like that the way that they told that. My only problem is the fact that the scales are balanced. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah. And then and we'll see where they'll go from here. But if he
just spit it out, come on.
I don't see them fully bringing Jake Lockley in the next episode.
Yeah, I think
they didn't in this episode. Mm-hmm. So I guess Mark is going to pass through the door of whose face it is. What Euphrates?
I forget it. Euphrates.
Hey, it's a thing. Osiris. And then somehow Layla's gonna free Khonshu like as he comes back so that he can heal him from the bullets and he don't just die again.
Oh yeah.
And
I was wondering how they were gonna do that.
Steven. And then somehow he's gonna get Steven back, and then they're gonna like tease Jake. Like that just feels like a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But then again, I felt like that almost every last episode that's coming for every series. I've been like, wow, they're going to have to pack a ton. And they haven't done an okay job in most of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can see it as, like you said, Layla's going to have to free Khonshu.
Right.
So I think what's going to happen is she frees Khonshu, and since Mark heals with Khonshu's powers, or I guess with the strength imbued into him by Khonshu, I think Steven will, come back because of that power.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it's that was actually an interesting point, though, with how much they have to throw in.
I have a great thought here. This would be cool. This is what I want them to do in the last episode.
Just bring Batman and Superman in from a whole nother superhero universe.
Yes. No. What?
I don't know.
So here's what they should do. Khonshu somehow I don't really care. Layla does kick, bam, punch.
Layla dies.
Sure, she dies.
No, I'm sorry.
Anyways, Khonshu saved. Mark comes back. Mark's fine, but Steven's gone. It's just Mark. Mark does his thing. Then he has to go back into this realm. And that's how the episode's going to end, with him trying to find Steven in this other realm as midnight.
Oh, that's an interesting thought right there. And then that would give more grounds to the point of when Steven's seeing the sarcophagus. Because then, if Mark has to go back, then that would mean he might see the sarcophagus and be like, "Oh, Steven's in there."
Interesting. All right. Anything else you want to talk about? Midnight?
I think
do you have an expectation of what you think will happen in this episode?
Of course, I really, really want there to be like this. Part of me really wants to see Khonshu fight.
Okay.
But
speaking of which, I thought the CGI was the best it's been in this episode.
Oh, yes.
That shit on the sand actually looked good.
It actually looked like a ship for a while.
The
sand.
Purple lasers of all the souls going down.
Oh, yeah.
The creatures, all of it just looked really good.
Yeah, they're... Oh, man. It looked amazing.
You want to see Khonshu fight? I do not.
I'm just curious if Khonshu fought, how would he fight? I'm just curious about like the way he fights. So if they do bring
probably use his fist of vengeance.
Really?
Just my thoughts.
But at the same time, I don't think having a fight with Khonshu, it just might be a whole big CGI mess.
Exactly.
So
hence why I don't want it.
I mean, it could be good, actually.
I doubt it.
All right. Yeah, that's just about it. I mean, I am wanting more Khonshu to be in because I liked most of the points when Khonshu and Mark have, talked.
Agreed. Love Conchu's voice.
Oh, yes.
Alrighty. Moving on.
All right.
So what you got for upcoming Star Wars thingies?
Well, nothing really new came out.
You were all like, I have to talk about Star Wars. I have to talk about nothing.
But there is some talk.
Talk?
There is some talk that people want a certain thing to happen that I don't want to happen. And I really want to say this quickly. I know, and it's like, if this does happen, then there's no point for something else that happened.
Go. I don't know what you're talking about.
So in there's a lot of talk that in the show there's going to that I forget his name, goodness, that Darth Vader will be coming back.
Boo.
What he is going to be doing in the show has not been really revealed.
Okay.
Everybody wants it to be that. There's a lot of people who want Obi-Wan to fight Darth Vader again.
No.
And that would not make sense.
No, it would not.
It would not make sense. And why I'm saying this is because I recently watched this video. I cannot remember the name of the guy that I was watching, so I apologize about not saying his name, but I watched this video of this guy saying that there was a massive plot hole left in A New Hope. There's no plot hole. I'm sorry.
Perfect movie.
There's not. The plot hole that he's talking about was not left. When Darth Vader and Obi-Wan meet on the Death Star and they're talking to each other.
Yep.
When I left you, I was
presence I feel.
When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. It's just no. Think about the way he says it. When I left you, I was the learner.
Yep.
Because everybody thinks that they're going to meet in Obi-Wan, and that's why he says that.
What? That makes no sense.
Yeah. So, well, there's a lot of people who think that. And so what I want to confirm is so when Anakin turned to the dark side, he left the Jedi Order, therefore leaving Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
And so and the last time they met was on Mustafar.
Sure. Before
when Obi-Wan cut off his legs and arm.
Right.
So this does not, if they do meet, there's going to be so many things that are wrong, that is going to be wrong with that.
I agree. I completely agree.
And even if Obi-Wan was off the planet, or even if he was on the planet and still kept Luke's secret safe, there's still so many things wrong. Why didn't Darth Vader go after Obi-Wan? Why didn't Darth Vader know about Obi-Wan going to this planet? There's just so many things wrong with that.
Agreed.
So I just want to say, if they do have that, I will fully say that I am going to be disappointed in future Star Wars.
Nice.
So
I already am.
I have some very high hopes for Star Wars, but
I don't.
My expectations are very low.
Nice.
So it's going to be sad. Now, the only reason I can see Obi-Wan leaving the planet, I know this is going in too deep, but it's fine. It's fine. The only reason I see Obi-Wan leaving Tatooine, even though I hope he doesn't leave Tatooine, because his goal is to stay on Tatooine and protect Luke Skywalker.
Right.
The only reason I see him leaving Tatooine is to catch somebody who has info that Luke Skywalker is on Tatooine.
Okay.
That's the only reason I can see him leaving. But I still don't see him meeting Darth Vader.
Agreed.
So, yeah, there's no sense in that.
All right.
Yeah, so moving on. I just needed to get that out there because it's been bugging my mind.
That needs to get out there. No, Darth Vader.
Now, I'll be okay with Darth Vader showing up in the show, but only talking to
himself.
Yes, to himself.
The Emperor.
No, the Inquisitors.
Oh.
So of course we're getting Bad Batch season 2.
Of course.
Andor TV series.
Any news about Andor yet?
Late summer.
Late summer.
Very late summer.
Like August 24th.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No, I have no idea. We're still getting the Mandalorian season 3 very late of the year, probably in like the final days of the year, probably in December somewhere.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's about all I have, except for maybe some other stuff. Maybe I'll just name off of the other Star Wars TV shows that are coming out. We have a Ahsoka TV series that is probably going to be coming out after Mandalorian. We have apparently a Book of Boba Fett season 2 possibly coming out.
Okay.
Hopefully it's better.
Hopefully.
We have The Acolyte that is in development.
What's that about?
It is apparently going to be in the days of the High Republic, before the Clone Wars Republic.
So like pre.
Yeah. So pretty early on of Star Wars. So it's going to be an interesting time period for this show. We have actually a Lando TV show coming.
Lando Calrissian?
Yeah, Lando Calrissian. I have no idea what that's going to be about.
Probably about Lando.
You're funny. Then we have a Rogue Squadron coming out. And then there is a TV show that I want to come out, but I think it has been canceled. Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic.
Okay.
So, kind of sad. Nothing else after that. I think there's just a couple Star Wars movies that are going to be coming out later down the line, but that's going to be coming out maybe a couple of years, something like that. So I have no idea. So yeah, that's about it. So I just thought I'd bring some more Star Wars, since this guy over here brings a lot of Marvel to the table.
Well, today we're really only going to be talking about a couple of things.
Oh, really?
First off, Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, yes.
There was a new TV spot and a new trailer released.
Anything spoiling that you're going to say? Do I need to shut my ears?
I don't think I'll spoil anything, but there's a couple of things. A new character was introduced.
Oh, well, that just ruined the whole movie for me.
I don't think you know who this character is, but
watch it. I'm going to know who this character is.
Marvel, people who love Marvel will know who it is and understand why it's so important. The Living Tribunal.
I think I know who that is. Isn't it some, like one of the, I don't want to say 7, but a group, like a certain group of, not a certain group of beings that are, and the Living Tribunal is that group, either is that group of beings, or the Living Tribunal is a certain being. I've heard the name before.
Right. So the Living Tribunal is this cosmic entity that basically judges the whole multiverse.
Okay.
It's this giant figure with 3 heads.
Yeah, that's who I was. Kind of a golden boy.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what his heads are made up of. Is like the front facing one is, I don't know, there's revenge. I can't remember all 3 of them, but anyways, he basically judges people who do things multiversally, cross dimensions, destroy worlds, all that jazz.
Kind of makes
it has to be very big things for him to even care. Like he doesn't care if people are doing bad stuff here. Like he probably wouldn't even care about like Thanos.
Yeah,
in just one universe.
Yeah, but what about?
Definitely cares if people are crossing dimensional portals and stuff, which sounds like Doctor Strange is going to be doing in Wanda and stuff. And on top of that, though, when he judges, he cannot pass judgment unless all 3 of his heads agree.
Oh,
so if there's any disagreement, he just doesn't make a decision.
So there might be some nice little maneuvering speech.
I don't know. So in the trailer you just kind of see him as they're passing through this dimension, it seems.
Oh, so he just might be
I don't know if it's just an Easter egg. I kind of feel like the fact they doing interdimensional stuff. Like there will be a scene with him.
Yeah.
I don't know how important he'll be, but just an interesting little.
If I may ask, some of you are probably wondering this too, but this is kind of going off topic of what we're talking about here. But why didn't he show up in What If?
I don't think it was the he would have eventually if things kept going.
Okay.
But I don't think he was at that point yet is why he did.
Okay. I think I understand now.
Especially with the Watcher breaking his role, I think he was probably pretty close to showing up.
Yeah.
But that's the level of things that have to happen for him to show up.
Okay. So it was definitely close, but it wasn't there.
All right. So then the next thing, this shouldn't be spoiling anything because we've talked about this before. They finally name dropped the Illuminati.
Okay. Nice. Was it this? The Illuminati, or was it?
No, it was
Illuminati.
It was actually kind of cool. Mordo says to Doctor Strange something along the lines of, "The Illuminati will see you now."
Oh,
yeah.
So Mordo knows about the Illuminati.
Yes. If you watch my trailer breakdown, I think Mordo is on the Illuminati. But anyways,
so that just spoiled everything.
Yeah.
Mordo is a part of the Illuminati. Illuminati is going to fight Doctor Strange.
That's probably true. And then let's see, another thing that got okay, I say this isn't spoiling. I'm pretty sure this is gonna happen very early on in the movie.
But it could spoil.
So this I won't say it. And then there's a scene that happens at the end of one of the trailers that, in my opinion, is on the Mount, what's it called? Mount Wunderbar or something like that. Wundergard. I can't remember, but it's where the Darkhold was created. And I'm pretty well convinced that that's where this one scene takes place.
Oh.
At the end of the trailer when you see the, multiple armed Doctor Strange, you know what I'm talking about, guys. I'm pretty sure takes place there, and that totally makes sense for the fact that we're seeing undead creatures and stuff because, the Darkhold creates those type of things. Also makes sense for who I said would probably going to end up being the villain. And then the final thing I want to say, and what I'm the most excited about, is the IMAX poster just came out.
Really?
And apparently the entire movie was filmed for IMAX. So if you're not watching it in IMAX, you're going to be missing stuff because there will be edges of this. In the last trailer, there's a scene where Wong pulls out this sword, and you can tell it's going outside the screen, which means you are definitely missing stuff if you're not watching it in IMAX. There's the edges of the screen that aren't going to be there in a normal screen. So I'm super excited we're going into the IMAX showing.
I mean, I hope I'm going to the IMAX showing.
I'm
pretty sure I am. I'm 97%.
I'm going to IMAX. You're supposed to be with me. So.
Well, we're going at the same time to different theaters.
Anyway, so that just made me extremely excited. So anyways, that's all I got for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. There's those trailers though were crazy. Really? Tons of new stuff. Just man, I'm pretty sure I know exactly what's going to happen in the movie now, and I'm so excited.
And it's supposed to be coming out next week? Or is it
yes, next week. Yes, next week.
Next week
from Thursday.
Okay, wow.
Yes, a week from this Thursday. Yeah.
Okay.
And 10 days away, 9 days away.
You are having some trouble with that.
It's just I'm shocked. It's so fast. Next week. Oh my goodness.
I know. I feel like it hasn't even been that long.
I know.
So, all right. Pretty impressive. I feel.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Get on to.
So we talked about last week the Love and Thunder trailer. So not much to go on there. We haven't got any new trailers or anything. There was a poster, but anyways, not much to talk about there. But I want something I really, really want to. Do you have a question?
I do have one question though. Any news of it being pushed back?
No, it's not getting pushed back.
Well, really?
The trailer said it was going to be in July, so it's still in July. It might get pushed back a week or so, but it's not going to be pushed out of July.
Okay.
But anyways, Werewolf by Night coming out October.
Oh yeah.
Right? Haven't really heard much about it, but we just got a casting for Elsa Bloodstone. I don't know if you know who that is.
I've heard the name once.
Such a cool character. One of my favorite. She was actually the first like supernatural character in Marvel that I got into. Like,
really?
I'm trying to remember how I found out about it. I think I was reading can't remember, but I was reading a comic and she shows up and I'm like, wow, she's kind of cool. She's like this vampire hunter.
Was it like a Spider-Man comic?
I'm guessing. I can't remember for sure, but it was a long time ago. Anyways, so she is this vampire hunter that her father is horrible human being. Basically, like, I think he ends up killing her mother because her mother was like, wouldn't let her, like,
whoa,
yeah, and like, just like terrible man. But he trains her to be this vampire hunter, right? And she gets this bloodstone, which grants her all these powers, and that's why she's called Elsa Bloodstone. And yeah, she's just super cool. She got cast by Laura Donnelly's going to be playing her, which I've only seen her in a couple of episodes of some shows. She doesn't play in many movies.
Okay, I was like, so it sounds familiar. But
I'm not. What I'm gonna say is what I've seen her in. I feel like she really is a very fluid actress. Like, she just like brings her characters to life very fluidly. Like, has a good energy. So I'm really excited to see her in such like an active role. Hopefully she does a good job, but I don't know. Haven't seen her enough. Then, but what I want to bring that up for is Elsa Bloodstone is also a member of the Midnight Suns. So I'm pretty excited with Moon Knight and now Werewolf by Night, Elsa Bloodstone. We could be pretty close to a Midnight Suns little team up. The Black Knight, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Blade. That's all right there. Hopefully Ghost Rider. Not Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider.
Yeah, it would be cool to see Ghost Rider in the MCU. Wow, that man. Just going into this, like, there's so much of this like supernatural stuff coming to Marvel right now.
I'm very excited for that side of the MCU. I'm not too excited about like the main part of the MCU right now. Yes, Multiverse of Madness I'm pretty excited for, but Thor Love and Thunder I'm kind of like, yeah. Wakanda Forever I'm kind of, yeah. Captain Marvel to the Marvels I'm kind of, yeah. But Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night, Blade, I'm pretty excited for that side of it.
Yeah. Okay. Man, I cannot wait for Werewolf by Night because it's a character I really want to see.
Yeah. I mean, if they do a good job of bringing that like horror supernatural element, like, and make you actually like feel that, they don't. Because like Daredevil, Moon Knight, I feel like they've done a little bit, but like you haven't really felt like the full effect. And if they fully go into that world based on the way they're portraying it in Moon Knight, I'm excited.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
All right, what we got for Back and Forth coming up?
There's something I forgot to look it up.
As you said before. Doctor Strange is coming out next week.
Yep.
And so we are doing Obi-Wan Kenobi, since that's coming out in a couple weeks after that, versus Doctor Strange.
That's right. I knew that. See, I already knew that. I was seeing if you knew that.
So you'll be bringing Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'll bring in Doctor Strange. This is kind of interesting. I don't know a whole lot about Doctor Strange, so I am very excited to delve into him.
I'm really excited just for this fight mainly.
I've actually recently been reading a Doctor Strange comic, or a bunch of Doctor Strange comics that I got, and man, I really like Doctor Strange as a character.
Yeah.
I love Clea as a character. I think I'm actually really hoping she shows up now in Multiverse of Madness, because I think she could be a really fun character in the MCU.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, me reading a couple Doctor Strange comics, like she's really fun. She's a fun character.
So that's what's next week. Don't forget Rogue One movie review this Sunday.
This Sunday, and yes, we are working on that.
Hopefully I will be watching Rogue One here in the next couple days and getting that done. And then we've got the Instant Judgment for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness will be coming out.
Yeah.
Right away after we go watch it.
So you're probably wondering why we haven't been doing Instant Judgments. Not only is it late times, but we haven't been able to find like good posters.
Yeah, we're just trying to make it perfect for you guys, you know?
So don't worry, we will get back into it here. So we're just going to be putting out mainly just some quick judgments of them.
Yep.
But pretty soon, we'll have a camera, we'll have a green screen, we'll have it all right there for you.
Maybe. Alrighty, see y'all next week.
Don't put yourselves inside a box.